Hey folks, Nick Kuzis here. Thank you for joining me tonight. I really want to talk about what knot I use to tie my leader material to my braid. I get a lot of questions about this, in particular with spinning rods. And I use braid for every spinning situation I have. It's just a matter of tying the right leader material to the specific technique that I'm using, whether it's jerk baits, drop shot, any kind of finesse stuff, top water, small top waters, all that stuff always has some kind of leader material, whether it's fluorocarbon or mono. And the knot is super, super important for a lot of reasons. One, you want a knot that's strong because you don't want to break it off. You want a knot that's small, it slides through your guides. And then the other thing is, for me, you want a knot that's easy. I've tried a bunch of knots. Back in the days, I was a uniknot guy, but that knot's a little bit big. I went to a surgeon's knot. It was kind of like a reformed surgeon's knot. I actually call it the Kuzis surgeon's knot, and it's pretty good too. I'll show that in another video, but it still catches your guides quite a bit here and there. The best one I found overall, look, the FG knot is a good knot. I'm not going to tell you it's not a good knot, but for me, unless I got my mother, my sister, and my wife on the boat at the same time, holding this and holding that, man, it's too complicated for me. It drives me mental. I like to keep things simple. I'm on the water to fish, not to make knots. So I found like the Albright or the Alberto knot, to me, is the best knot. It gives you everything that you want. It gives you the strength. It slides through your guides very easily, and it's easy to tie. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And hopefully I'm wearing something dark. I'm going to put that up. I'm going to show you, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. I'll know when I check the video after. But here we go. So J-braid, Daiwa J-braid has become my favorite braid that's out there. One thing, it's inexpensive. It's an 8-strand. It's super supple. And the beauty about this line is you just don't get as many wind knots with this line. As a matter of fact, for the first 2-3 months, I never actually got a wind knot. I thought wind knots were a thing in the past. Now listen, anytime you're using thin braid in windy conditions, it's going to happen. That's another video, but this is really, really great line. Super strong, very thin, like I said. Awesome line, very slick. Doesn't make a whole lot of noise for your guides. And then the leader material that we're going to use today is the FC, Sunline FC Sniper 7-pound. I want to use the thinner stuff to show you guys, but I use 7, 8, 9, and 10, even up to 12, depending on what I'm doing. This is your fluorocarbon leader, and I don't have to cut it. I just leave it in the spool. But what I want to do is I want to create a loop, okay, like that. And I want to leave some tag end, and you'll understand why. So I leave about, 6 inches. I go a little bit overboard, but about 6 inches of tag line, and I pinch it, just like that, okay? Then I take the braid, like this, and I slide the braid through the loop. Just slide it through the loop, pull it, again, 6 to 7 inches. And then what I do is that I cinch it down, all three. So I have the tag end of the leader material, the main part of it, and then I have the braid. And then with the braid, I'm just going to wet it just to give it some weight to show you guys. Now let me see if I can do this. Okay, so then what I do is I take this braid and I go around both the tag and the main part of the leader about 8 times. So that's 3. You don't have to do it too tight. You can if you want. You can work your way up, but I'll show you how to tighten it after. So that's 4, 5, 6. Let's just go 7. 7's fine, and I've done it with 7 many times. But you know what? I'm going to do it 8 times just for the purpose, so you don't think I chinched out on you here when I'm doing the video. So that's 8 times. So now I just kind of bring it a little bit up a bit, right? Just a bit like that. And then I pinch it down again, okay? It's loose in there, but that's fine. Then I go back this way another 6 to 7 times. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so now I've gone around 7. Now, here's the part that you got to remember. Where the way this line went down is the way you got to come back up. Right? So sometimes it gets spun around, but it looks like I went through that way up to down. So now I'm going down to up, back through like that, okay? Then I take this, right? and I take the main, and then basically I just slowly first lubricate, and then I slowly cinch it down so you could see, right? And I like to pull from the braid, not the fluorocarbon. Really lubricate that and then give it a nice pull. And you could see how it's slowly working its way, right? Slowly. And then in the end, then I'm pulling that. I leave the tags and I just pull the two mains. Just like that. And the thing is about it is you know it's right because you can't pull it out. Sometimes if you go in the wrong way, you'll know because it'll just slip right through. And when it doesn't slip, you're good to go. Now, so now you've tied your knot. That's the knot right there. You can do a half hitch. Some guys will do a little half hitch with the braid on this side. It doesn't matter. I find that at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. This knot is super strong and it won't slip out. So once you've gone there, now to finish it now, so you could see, I'm trying to show you. Hopefully you could see about how nice and thin that knot is. So then after that, you got to cut the tags off. And the thing with this knot is you cut the tags right down as close as you can to the knot. There doesn't need, and the way I do that, I pinch back so this part is exposed that I'm cutting off. Make sure you're cutting the right side and not the part that's not tight. And I go right down. Okay, now I'll show you that. So that part's pretty good. That's done nicely. And then the braid can be a little bit, you know what it's like cutting braid, but you know, same thing. I expose it like that. Sometimes you got to tighten it. I always try buy a new pair of scissors every year. It just feels like, unless you got a guy that's sharpening them for you, but I give it a little tug there. All right. So you could see that slipped out. So I go in there. The reason why you don't want any tag is because you don't want that tag cutting or grabbing your knot, you know, or the your guide. Sorry about that. But you could see now, so I'm gonna, this is gonna be the test right here. So I'm gonna tighten that and I'm gonna yank on that, and that's perfect. So you could see I've yanked on that. That's going nowhere. You could see how thin that knot is right there. It's beautiful. And you can see I got no tag at all on that. It will not slip. You'll be able to use it all day long and have very little issues with this. It slides through your guides beautifully. I love that knot. Look, it didn't take me long. I was showing you guys, so I'm slowing down a bit, but I can be a lot faster. I mean, really, this knot, I can tie it in probably less than 2 minutes, easy, day in and day out, and not have an issue. That's the Alberto knot, the Albright knot, however you want to call it. Give this knot a shot. Again, trust me, you'll love it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you have any questions at all, please message me. I'm happy to help you, either on my YouTube channel where you're watching this, or again at my Instagram at Kuzvis_fishing. More tips coming your way. See you soon.